Welcome everybody to Spiritually Conscious College. So good morning, good afternoon or good evening from wherever you're connecting in from. My name is Jonathan Brown. Today we're going to talk about the most important first lesson for each and every one of you. And that lesson is, who are you? Do you even know? If I was to say to each and every one of you, who are you? You'll all answer that in different ways, or you'll all have a knowingness about that in different ways. Part of a sad truth and a sad reality for a lot of people here on earth is they don't fully know who they are. They're stuck within themselves in some way, shape or form. So most people know the things they love and the things that they like and the things that they don't like. But many people are still suppressed within themselves when it comes to fully knowing who they are. So I want you all to take a second and go within and ask yourself, do you know who you are? And unless yes comes through straight away with an absolute knowingness and a deep feeling from your soul, you don't yet fully know who you are. Some of you will get, no, I don't fully know who I am. I know partially who I am. Now for myself, I've had my life and my journey, and it's been deep and it's been spiritual, and I've gone through the aspects of self. I've had to understand my light and my shadow, my divine feminine, my masculine, my duality. So that's every part of me. So I'm not suppressed. I can speak truth and say it as it is, all the time without any hesitation, knowing that I always come from my heart, always knowing that I'm here as part of the divine and serving. And for most of you, having your light is the easier part, the bit that's loving and the bit that's caring and the bit that's nurturing. And shadow, for many people, they don't want to go there, or they don't want to look at it, or they want to hide it behind their masks. And see, what you do as you start to understand who you are is you start to master yourself. So a lot of people think out there, as I did a long time ago, that, got to get rid of the shadow, it's no good. Now, don't get me wrong, we heal what's unhealed within the shadow, because what's the point of being toxic in any way, shape or form to self or to others? And we know how we feel about this because we don't feel good if we know that's not the way to be and that's not the way to carry on. That's a broad subject. I'll do much teaching about this later on. But it's actually to master the shadow. Your light integrates your shadow. It is that duality. And it's knowing in the purest form of your sovereignty and your being how to be at all times. And if we look at universe of source and God, it's to be an unconditional love. It's not to be fighting and causing problems and having fears. We're a brotherhood, we're a sisterhood, it's a oneness. That's what the universe really is. Universe, one song, connectedness. And so many people will tell you all these different things about connecting with the higher self and the world that we live in and the 3D and the 5D. Many people out there are talking about the matrix. There's all these different feelings, knowingnesses and understandings. And the only one that I'm going to give you to help you understand who you are is you are you. You are unique. We are all created individually. All of us is a soul. There is no duplicate or copy of us anywhere else because we are all different. We're all made the same within divinity and our sovereignty, but we're unique in our energetical pattern and stamp, if you wish. Our life force, none is exactly the same. Our consciousness is all different. We're all programmed differently. We're all wired differently. We all understand differently. We all feel differently. So knowing who you are is a very important thing. When you know who you are, your life changes. A lot of you out there still live your life in a way that you're affected if someone else says something about you or gives an opinion about you in a certain way, that you take it to heart, or you're caught in your feelings, or you're devastated. But I say to you, why would you, or why should you, if you know who you are? Now, quick spiritual history lesson for everybody. There are only two who know who you are. First, Creator, Universe, God, Source. Believes you me, depending on who you are out there, if you know yourself, if you half know yourself, if you don't know yourself. Source, God, Universe is the one that absolutely knows you. None of us can hide anything. Nothing kept a secret. Nothing can be not known. No stone unturned from the divine, from the universe. Even though I like to talk about mediumship, those in the higher side of life, channeling, our loved ones know everything about us. How? Higher vibrational plane. They connect in and know everything that is. So as you grow more and more, you learn to understand who you are. Now, from a teacher perspective, and I've done this for many years, and I was taught this many years ago, so teach it to everybody that I come across, and I'm now teaching it to you all here. The very first thing to look at is, who are you? And this is what I want you to all go away and look at, and really go in depth and look at every part of you. Do you know who you are? Are you suppressing any part of you? Are you not able to speak your truth? Do you feel you have to hide yourself from others, society, or yourself? And I say to you, don't. Be you, authentic self, always. Don't be part of the programming and the patterns that you've all been subject to for years. Now, even myself, I'm spiritual. Everybody knows that. I'm also a man. But I was part of those patterns. It's not okay to speak your emotions. You can't speak in a broad way. You can't be within your shadow. And as I've already said, it's not to be in our shadow, to go on the attack, to hurt people, to be anything that's not there within the vibration of love or truth. There's times we need to be in our shadow to be strong. For the men out there, to be the warriors. For the women, to be the warrioresses. You got to be what you got to be. It's an earthly world with duality. Some people, and I would say unfortunately, but if it's their path, it's their path, live their life till their dying day, which is then just that step to the higher side of life, of their involvement, because life is eternal, not knowing who they are. Many of those people possibly have to come back again in different lives to find that out. Do you? That's the question. I know I don't. But I'm grateful and blessed because I understand who I am in this lifetime. And it's taught me many things that I've had to face and look at myself, and places within myself I didn't want to admit were there, but they are. But as you go through change and growth, you get a different understanding of yourself. Now remember, God makes us all perfect. Something I've said for years is universe, source created everybody. Controversial for some of you. But to understand this, if we're all loved the same, created the same, we all have purpose the same, something I will talk about in the next video, then God created us all. So God created both Jesus Christ and Adolf Hitler. Now, most of us will know what they've done in this world and this lifetime, but did not God and universe and source create them as they were meant to be? Did they not live their paths as they were meant to? Earthly world, duality, light and shadow. Indeed, they were created so. So do you know who you are? That is the question. If you do, good for you. If you don't, keep journeying, keep exploring, going within yourself until you do. Remember, time waits for no one. And only if we allow ourselves, there's always tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. But I say to you all, the time is now. From myself, Jonathan Brown, President of the Spiritually Conscious College, as always, many thanks, love and light to each and every one of you, and we'll catch you soon.